Hello everyone and welcome to my new video on stock market. I hope you are doing good and I hope you would have bought a lot of stocks during the COVID crash that happened and the now markets are going up. Like it's been like 1% every day. I mean it has been increasing 1% every day. Today there was a fall, but yeah, markets has been rising, and I think the people who would have invested during this crash would have their profits would be great. I think I also invested a lot of amount during this crash, and I will not sell these stocks on, I will say, on small profits. I am a long-term investor. I will normally keep these stocks for at least 10 years, at least. And if the stock, I mean, even if the sales are increasing after 10 years also, then also I will not sell it. Okay, so the topic here is when to sell a stock. So I will give my ideas here. So actually the topic here today, what I'm going to discuss is when to sell a stock. In the last video, I discussed about when to buy a stock. Of course, COVID crash was a very good time to buy a stock. Maybe even today it's a good time to buy a stock because today also, I mean, if you see the peak of the Sensex, it is 40,000. Today still, I think 32,000, 33,000 maybe. So still, I think I feel this is a good time even to buy stocks. And in the last video I discussed about when to buy stocks, but in the previous video before that I discussed 15 points which one should consider before doing a long term investment in one stock. So I will request you to watch that video, both these video, past two videos. Those are very important from my point of view. So in my 15 points, if you go through each of them, I've explained. So I have taken a lot of time, 45 minutes, but I've explained them very well by giving examples. So that's why it has taken a lot of time. But I will recommend you to watch those videos because I will using also reference of those in this video also. So I will paste the link of both the videos in the description, so you can see that. So let's see the topic for today, that is when to sell a stock. So let me just move through the first slide. Now, okay, the first reason, so when to sell a stock, the first reason is personal reason. So this is like, okay, if you want to build a new house, so let's say you were investing in stock market for some personal reasons, maybe buying a new house or financing study of your child or marriage. Now, in this case, you don't have a choice, right? Because you were investing for this purpose. So, of course, you can sell the stock if you have made good profit. So, you can sell the stock. But this is a personal reason. I will be discussing about non-personal reasons here mostly. In this case, of course, in these two cases, of course, another case can be if you have emergency, maybe, and you need maybe additional money and you do not have. In that case, also you can, because these are very personal reasons which you cannot control. But other than that, other than personal reasons, I'm going to look at other reasons which are not personal. Now, the first one is that this is the first reason when why you should sell a stock. A mistake has been made in the original purchase. So this can happen. We are humans, so we can do mistakes while researching a stock. We may not see some points or some points about management, or maybe we were thinking that the sector in which the company operates will boom in the future, but maybe you would have done a mistake in researching about that. It can happen. We can do mistakes, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to avoid your ego and you have to be honest with yourself and admit the mistakes that okay, you have done a mistake. Okay, I got it. You have to sell the stock at some loss, but think about long term, 10 plus years. So if you sell this stock, at least let's say the downside for this may be like it. I mean, after 10 years, since you were wrong, this stock can go 40-50% down, 60% down. But maybe you'd have sold this stock just at 5%, 10% loss. And what other stock you would have bought? You sold this stock and you had bought some other stock, then the stock would have risen by let's say 200 300% in next 10 years. So this way you would have made a good decision, right, on selling the stock. So my example I will give. So when I started in stock market, I will say I was reading some books, but still I was not very clear on like valuation and other stuffs. So my initial stocks were DHFL, PNB Housing Finance, and Vedanta. So about this, I didn't have much knowledge about this. I was just looking at the price to earning ratio, and at that time, the price to earning ratio for this company was very low. It was like 6, 7. So I thought that okay, these are very cheap companies. I can make a lot of money. But I didn't look into the management of this company. So that was my fault. I didn't look into them. So I sold them all three So I will say I sold all of these three at some loss. But then I will just say that okay, DHFL when I bought it was like I bought at 400 and I sold at 400 something, some loss, but 400. Now think about this. So let's say my investment 50,000, and if I had not sold at that time, now see the DHFL price today, right? So I admitted my mistake and sold that. Similarly, PNB Housing Finance, it was like 900 at that time, and when I bought the stock, Vedanta again was like 190, 200 at that time. So my feeling was that I didn't understand much about these stocks, and I just looked at the PE and thought they were very cheap, and I bought. So this was my mistake. Another mistake was not having good knowledge about holding companies. Again, I bought like companies like Bajaj Holdings and Bombay Burma. Like these companies are holding companies. Like Bombay Burma is like a holding Britannia Industries shares. Bajaj Holding is like Bajaj Auto, Bajaj Finance. So I didn't much understand about the holding companies. Again, they were very cheap. If you see in valuations, if you look at the PE and all, they were very cheap. But if you understand what holding companies are, so they normally have a reason to have a discount over their other companies that they are managing, because this holding companies only earns through dividends from these companies, right? And which companies are under them, and they do not have any other source of income. So they are basically investment type of companies. That's why they trade, I mean, cheap at, I will say, very low PE than their other companies. So I didn't understand that. So after this, I invested in Britannia itself. Which I understood what Britannia does. I understood all this, so I invested in Britannia itself. Similar for Bajaj Holdings, I directly invested into, maybe Bajaj Finance directly, right? I didn't invest actually, but if I have to invest, I will directly invest there. But Tata Metalics was another, I will say, which I sold. But the reason was that Tata Metalics, I will say, okay, so Tata Metalics into, pipe sector, and the government has the plan to like provide safe, clean and safe water to everyone in India. So my thinking was that this sector is going to boom due to government coming. But I'm seeing most of the government, if you see like plans, they happen very late. Once they announce, I hold this for 1 year, around 1 year. After that, I sold because I thought that there was some another good opportunity, and also I didn't understand much about this piping sector, like how it is going to benefit Tata Metallics, because there are other companies also in this sector. So I was also not sure about this. So it's better I thought of avoiding this, and I sold this at some loss, and I bought some other stock which I understood better. That's what learn from mistakes. So this is the first reason. Next is the fund. This is the first reason. Okay, you are selected and you realize the mistake. The second reason can be that you are holding the stock for long term, 10 years, 5 years, but now the fundamentals of the company are changing. For this, you have to be like, I will say, keep the track of the company. It's not that okay, you have bought the stock, then you will not be tracking that company. Keep tracking the results of the company, the commentary of the management team. Also, take a look at the sector, how the sector and its company's products are doing. So always even the 15 points that are in the first video, you can see in the description, link of that video in the description. Now, fundamentals can change either to management change. So that can happen like you have a CEO, right? What can happen? That CEO was like Varun Berry is for Britannia. Once he has arrived in 2013, you can see the stock price. It was 500 in 2013 and it's close to 4,000 now. It has been reached the peak of 4,000, and he has helped in expanding the operating margin. So the question is that maybe after Varun Berry resigns and some new CEO comes, so you have to again think like, you have to keep checking that how that new CEO is doing, what are the decision he or she is taking. So you have to keep looking onto that, and if they are not taking good decisions, and let's say even I will say the whole management is changing in this type of cases, and if you see the impact of this on the sales and other things, maybe you can sell the stock and buy some other on which you are more clear about this. Another is decrease in sales of the products. So it can happen, right? So take example of any product. So initially when product at the beginning, the sales will keep on increasing because the penetration of that product is very low. But at one time it can, I will say, reach the saturation level from where the growth is like 4 to 3 4% for that, and the company like, I will say majority of the revenue was being contributed by that product, let's say. Now you have to think about that. Now growth, initially your growth rate was like 15% you were thinking of, but after 10 years now you are seeing growth percent of 3%. Now maybe you can look at some other maybe stock, because you're not getting 10%, 15% even now. you are giving just 3%. So maybe you can sell in this case. Take example of newspaper or oil companies. So these are almost reach the saturation level, or their sales are decreasing nowadays, because you have, for newspaper, I mean, most of people read online now. For oil companies, you have electric vehicles coming, and like most countries are focusing on other, I will say, energy sources. Another can be like growth prospects have like exhausted. Take example razor market. So now most people are not, I will say, saving that frequently that they used to. So razor market, you can see the sales for Gillette India. It's a company that makes razors in it. It's listed in India also, and you can see the sales. You can easily see that how the sales, it is reflected in their results, how the sales has decreased. Another case can be like, okay, maybe you invested, okay, you were looking at valuations, and growth, let's say initially growth was very high, 30%, and valuation was 50 or 60 or 70. Okay, that was reasonable because growth was very high. But now growth is 10%, and it's still decreasing day by day or year by year, but still it is trading at PE of 70, 80. It's very dangerous again. And Gillette is another example. The sales are decreasing. It's like in single digits. The digits are, so the sales are in single digits. But still, if you see the PE level for Gillette India, it is still 70, 80. I mean, so in this case, I will normally sell a stock. Another is like found another attractive investment. So this is similar to the last point I mentioned. So if you look at, let's say there is a company in your portfolio that is growing at 10% growth rate, 10% growth. Now you found another attractive investment that's growing at 20%. I mean, you think that that can grow at 20% for 10 years. Now difference in the returns from both these companies will be huge if you are right. That's why be sure about the attractive investment. Do a lot of research in that. And once you are convinced that this stock can give 20%, because the sector maybe itself is very I will say unpenetrated, like insurance sector maybe. So in that case, again you can sell that stock that is giving 10% growth and buy a stock 20%. But be sure about this, that the attractive investment you are seeing, you have done a lot of research in that. Now, my example is Tata Metallics to Tata Elxsi. So, Tata Metallics, I told you, right? It was not about growth, but it was about I didn't understand the company much, and also I didn't understand how the company is going to grow in the future. So, I took a better bet on Tata Elxsi, which I understood much. The IT sector I understood much, so I took a bet on that. Now, when not to sell a stock. This is when to sell a stock. When not to sell a stock. Now, this is very interesting. A bear market is coming, so people will say that okay, the market is going to crash in next 2 days, next month, right? So in this case, maybe you will be tempted to sell the stock. Another case can be okay, the COVID-19. I mean, COVID-19. I mean, it started in, let's say, March, and lockdown is happening. So you will sell the stocks of all those companies which are being impacted by it. So the question is that those stocks are very good, but there are some temporary issues, and that's why it's getting impacted. Now, when you will buy this stock again, you are selling this now. When you will buy the stock again, so you are basically trying to time the market, and timing the market is not easy. I will explain that with I will say famous words from Peter Lynch. It's written below. Now, if a company ticks on 15 points that I mentioned in my what to buy video, the company should do well in next bull market. Okay, there is temporary issue for 2 3 months, 5 months, 1 year, but we are looking for 10-year plus investment, long term investment. So when the another bull market comes after this 1 year temporary issue, then again the company should do well. And if you try to time the market, that okay, sell the stock when it is going through the issues, and buy again when the stock market rises, it is very difficult. Very less people will. I mean, you can take this bet, but this is very risky bet, I will say. So this is the exact line of Peter Lynch. So from the book, it's from Learn to Earn. So from Peter Lynch, during a prosperous 5 year stretch in 1980s, stock prices gained 26% a year. Disciplined investors who stuck to the plan doubled their money and then some. But most of these gains occurred on 40 days out of 1276 days on which the stock markets were open. Now, if you are out on those 40 key days on which most of this gain happened, attempting to avoid the next correction, like I mean waiting for the bear market or waiting for the bull market, your 26% return actually will be just reduced to 4.3%. So that's the issue with timing the market. So I mean, I will normally not time the market, and but yes, if there is a correction, as I have 10% cash, I will normally have 10% cash. I will buy more stocks in that. That's another case. Another is price has increased a lot, and I mean there has not been any like fundamental change. Sales or I will say profits are still same, like they are growing at 20%, but price has suddenly rises a lot. Like it has become 2x in 5 or 6 months, or it will also lead to price to earning multiple expansion. Now, what should you do in that case? Now my formula is that take current profit. What is the current profit growth? Like 20%. Take the current EPS of that company, whatever it is. Now, from this, what you can do is, now let's say this EPS, that is earning per share, you can go online and get a CAGR calculator. You put the EPS as 10, your time period is 10 years, the growth is 20%. So you will get the, what will be the EPS after 10 years. Right. Now, once you have calculated this, multiply this with the average PE last 5 years, whatever it is. So this will give you the stock price after 10 years. Now see the current stock price and this price that you stock price that you calculated using this formula after 10 years. Now see what returns you are getting if you are holding this stock for 10 years. Now if the returns is very low, let's say 7-8% if you are getting, in this case, yes, I may sell the stock and buy some another attractive investment. But let's say if even that, even the price increase a lot, and even it is giving 15% return after that also, then why I will sell a stock, right? So if you're happy with the returns, 15-16%, do not sell the stock. But if you're not happy, then you may. So if you have found some other attractive investment, so do a lot of research in that. So these are the lines from Philip Fisher from the book Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. So he tells that this is one of the most ridiculous of all. One of the ridiculous reason for selling a stock, it is that the stock they own has a huge advance. Therefore, just because the stock has gone up, it has probably used most of its potential. Consequently, they should sell it. So this is the he's ask I mean telling you this about people, what people do. Consequently, they should sell it and buy something that has not gone up yet. So outstanding companies, the only type which I believe the investor should buy, that is at falling 15 points, just don't function this way. So maybe you can, as I told you, you will see a huge advance like 20% in one day. Now you will think that okay, 20% has happened. Now I should sell it and buy some stock on which it has been flat, and or some other stock which has fallen by 50%, so that it will rise, right? You will think like that. But if you are follow the 15 points and it has risen by 20%, and still the valuations are even reasonable still now, then why you should sell a stock for just 20% gain? Think about long term. Think about 10x, 5x baggers. Why about think about 20% or 30% for 1 year? So that's my view on like when to sell a stock. And I will recommend you to watch all my 3 videos in this series: what to buy, when to sell. I'm sure that these videos will help you a lot in stock market investment. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I will be coming with a lot of interesting videos like this. Thank you.